sit enjoying the shade.
Hey, brother, pour the wine.
Drink the drink that I have made.
Hey, brother, pour the wine.
Tell you
Good
why
evening.
the day's
Happy
Sunday.
Sunday. Welcome to Drinkin' the Style, brought to you by Habitation Furnishing and Design. I'm your host, Gregory Rich, and I'm going to help you kill your early Sunday evening with some booze and interior design conversation. My guest tonight, Kimberly Niosi from Niosi Design. Fabulous tagline, elevated, fresh, innovative interior design. I love all those words. Kimberly, welcome to Drinkin' the Style.
Well, thank you. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with you this evening.
We're going to have a lot of fun. We've got a great series of things to talk about.
Yeah.
So, folks, we're going to enjoy this, I hope, a great deal.
I'm excited.
Coctology this evening is being furnished by Mr. Dan Newkirk, beverage director at Mercy Restaurant, downtown Minneapolis, and Mill Valley Kitchen, and St. Louis Park, and Benedict's, and Wayzata, and Rochester. There are too many things going on to introduce you anymore, man.
I mean, this coctologist works just fine.
All right. Our resident coctologist. Welcome to Drinkin' the Style, Dan. You have some amazing things that you're going to be doing for us tonight, right?
Yep, we're going to be doing another margarita. We did a margarita last week, which was our Mercy margarita. This margarita is actually the one for downstairs for the Taco Takeover on Tuesdays.
Which we have to talk about.
With Gustavo Romero. Funny little twist on this one. I am pressing fresh squeezed lime, house orange agave, Don Julio Blanco. And then I have Taco Ma, a new orange aperitif, but with a little bit of spice to it. And then I'm going to top it off because I don't like putting salt on the rim. So I decided to do a salt air foam. So it's going to have notes of lime, a little bit of chiles. It looks like dish soap water.
But
Wow.
It tastes different, I hope.
It's salty.
Really?
So
you were going to salt the rim normally, so
I'd rather put it in the glass instead of on the glass.
it's a great call. All right. Brett,
Interesting.
hit us with our mixing music. Newkirk, walk us through the process. So you're loading up a shaker.
Yep. So 1.5 ounces of Don Julio Blanco, half ounce of your orange liqueur of choice, quarter ounce of a properly brixed agave, and then it's 3/4 lime. Bitters of choice. I'm using orange today. Shake, shake, shake. Strain, strain, strain.
And away it goes. And before the program, you were frothing.
I was frothing a sucrose foam. So it ends up being like it's air salt is what they call it.
Air salt.
Yeah.
Nice. You ever done a salt cave in any way, Kimberly? Are you
No,
familiar
I
with
haven't.
it?
No.
I've heard of people like falling asleep in those.
It's really nice. There's this place on Excelsior Boulevard called Salt Salon, and they do massage, hair, nails, all that other stuff. But they have an actual salt cave. The walls are bricks of salt. The ground is filled with salt that you walk through. You can sit in there and just relax, meditate, clear your mind. I got to go. Actually, I haven't been there in a while,
Yeah,
but it
sounds
is
like
so worth it.
interesting. Yeah.
All right, so you've got the cocktail poured out, mixed. It is a traditional margarita color, unlike last week's very orange margarita. And now you're going to be applying the sea foam air salt. Was that it? Sea foam air salt?
I think you said.
Air salt. Excellent.
I thought you said sucrose and sucrose.
Sucrose is what is like the base that makes it
Oh, okay. Got it.
ester.
All right, and you are literally
Very
just
frothy.
spooning it onto the top.
Yep.
See, that's nice. When I do margaritas, I usually add, believe it or not, egg white, just a bit of egg white, because it emulsifies everything, thickens it, and then also gives you that totally awesome frothiness on top.
This looks good.
And salmonella poisoning, which is...
The good stuff.
All right. You got it mixed. You got it frothed. We have our margarita.
Hold on to the thunder.
Yep, he's almost done. Almost done. All
There's
right.
a lot of frothing going on.
Deeply troubling on many, many levels. This is the week I decided not to go with mixologist. Yeah, Johnson's laughing. He's wondering if that has to be bleeped
I
out.
want to know why I have two in front of me.
One's for Brett. Our producer will drink with
okay.
us.
Very good.
Awesome. And then, what are these? Are these dried?
Dehydrated Angostura lime wheels. Just for fancy looks.
Classy, brother.
Hello.
Told you I went all out today.
Seriously. All right. Ladies, gentlemen, salud.
Cheers.
Brett, you'll have yours in just a minute or two. Wow.
Fabulous.
Isn't that fun?
That is delicious. That is really good, and I got the frothiness.
Yeah,
so do you. We both,
you're supposed
we both
to have
got
it.
mustaches.
You're supposed to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness
Kimberly,
I don't,
check
but, you know.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. And we are going to put this recipe, I promise you, on the website. We're fully up to date, or within a week or two, of downloadable versions of Drink in the Style. And then starting this week, we will once again start putting the recipes for the cocktails onto the show. So thank you. That's delicious. Kimberly.
I have to say, I just got the spice.
It's something,
Wow,
isn't it?
this is sensational.
There's a lot going on in this one.
Yeah,
I
it's
definitely
fun.
need the recipe to this.
Sure.
Wow.
It'll be
But
there.
good.
drinkinthestyle.com.
Love it.
Nicely delivered, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do our semi-random question since we
Sure.
started this. And I mentioned I came up with this when I was writing the program plan just because I was hungry. So let's get your take on it. And then Newkirk, you're in on this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Brett, chime in if you'd like. Simple question. Select a cuisine of choice. Ready? Italian, Chinese, Indian, or I will let you choose an other category.
You know, you just can't ask an Italian what they want to eat except for Italian, Greg.
Right.
I'm on board with the
What can I
Itai train for
say?
sure.
Italian?
I'm
No.
telling you,
Yep,
it's just the way it
exactly.
is.
Give me all the pasta and the cheese
Yeah.
and the red sauce and the white sauce and some bread.
Yeah.
I'm with you
Well,
100%. Nobody can beat the Italian cuisine.
No,
it
no.
can't be done. All right.
I
Well, that
don't
went
think
easier
so.
than I had expected.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
will say, though?
unanimous.
I'm not a fan. For some reason, I have become anti-bolognese. Something about mixing ground beef or beef in general and red sauce is not resonating with me anymore. I don't understand.
If it's done well, it can be marvelous, but people screw that up all the time.
It could be. I don't know. I still like lasagna. So I guess if you're mixing it in with enough
I
layers-
prefer my lasagna with both red sauce and white sauce. You
That's
just go layer to layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All the calories, all the belly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. You know, my wife actually makes insanely good lasagna, and usually we have it on Christmas Eve as a holdover. And my nephew, Alex, out in New York City, shout out to my nephew, Alex, who is absolutely in love with my wife's lasagna. Every year calls and asks, is it lasagna year? Lasagna. Because she banned away, she stopped it for a while, feeling like it was becoming too, not creative enough. And she went into something else, but it's got to come back.
But it's a favorite.
Right.
What can you do?
Growing up, nobody in my family can cook. They're terrible cooks. My stepdad, particularly, could only cook one thing and cooked once a year, right around Thanksgiving. Manicotti.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only thing the guy could cook, and he killed it.
Really?
Figure that out. I think he just didn't want to cook.
That's really, it could be. That
Yeah.
could be.
He was willing to, just suck down whatever my mom made, and she wasn't really killing it. Like meatloaf with the raw onions and the ketchup topping, and like, ugh.
The secret is you undercook the onions.
No kidding.
That's terrible. You know what's really funny? I cannot find a decent cannelloni anywhere in this state. Are you familiar? Are you cannelloni people at all?
Yeah.
I love cannelloni.
I'm trying to think. I mean, we have plenty of Italian places.
Yeah, we do.
Have you searched and seek?
I'm not a huge fan of Minnesota Italian. No offense. Italians
No,
did
I
not
know.
come out to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota. We got this
Many of
far
us,
and then
yeah.
simply said,
Right.
we're going back. Or we're going to keep moving.
Right.
Anyway, all right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be speaking with Kimberly Niosi Interiors, about a number of different design aspects. Stick with us. Habitation Furnishing and Design is simply the best furniture design studio in the Twin Cities. What is a furniture design studio? It's a place where you'll find professional interior designers who are there to help you select the perfect furniture. A single sofa or an entire home. Our designers love making spaces exceptional. When you're shopping for furniture, it makes sense to talk to a professional. Habitation Furnishing and Design, 4317 Excelsior Boulevard in St. Louis Park. Did you know that Habitation Furnishing and Design has the area's largest selection of noir and CFC furniture? Are you familiar with them? I once had a customer describe noir as a cross between Restoration Hardware and Beetlejuice. I love that. And CFC, bench-made furniture out of the heart of California, is definitionally cool. In any event, check out the lines at noirfurniturela.com and then swing into the store and check them out in person. Habitation Furnishing and Design, 1 mile east of Highway 100 on Excelsior Boulevard.
I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. I'm gonna shove you off your feet. A lot of kisses at the bottom. Be that I got 'em, yeah, gonna smile and say.
Welcome
hope
back
you're
to
feeling
Drinking the
better.
Style, a one-hour conversation about art, architecture, and especially this week, interior design. I'm your host, Gregory Rich, and my guest this week is Kimberly Niosi from Niosi Design. Kimberly, I mentioned at the beginning of the show how much I like your tagline. What do those words mean to you?
Well, design for me is really a practice. Just like a law practice, much like a medical practice, you're constantly evolving. Don't you agree?
100%.
And for me, elevated means that I'm constantly reaching and searching to provide the best product for my clients, educating myself. And then, of course, fresh. I'm always out there trying to find out what's the next big thing, and where are the trends coming from? Who sets the trends, and what are trends?
It is key, isn't it?
It's a big question.
You're exactly right. I mean, I love the direction you're going on that, because it is part of your job as a designer is to make people aware of what is coming, what is working within the current context.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you basically, historians will tell you every war starts out being fought as the last war and then becomes something new. With design, every design, if you aren't up on trends, starts out decorating the previous iteration of a room.
And I'm glad you brought up history, because one of my favorite sayings is really from Winston Churchill. He said that you create your spaces, after that they create you.
Oh my God, that's
How
fabulous.
true is that?
That is
we
absolutely
create our
fabulous.
environments, and after that, they create us.
You can't underestimate the importance of your environment on how you look, how you feel. I should say look, but how you feel, how you
Absolutely.
react, your state of mind. It's the water in which we swim.
Right. And going back to trends, I think it's so interesting when you look at trends and you say, who sets those trends? Well, really, it's just an objective. It's really about a feeling or a cultural path, if you will. And so many times, maybe some of the trends actually fail or wither out, and some stick.
That's true.
So it's pretty interesting to see how things garner more attention and how things evolve.
And that's another aspect to it, right?
Yeah.
Having someone who is skilled at design who can take a look at these trends and basically separate the fad from
Right.
the trend.
Right. And I think
it's
that's a big piece of it.
Very.
Is the fad part of it is something that you really don't want to get involved in, because it just doesn't have that sustainability.
It's true.
So it's here today, gone tomorrow, and
I mean, I have not stopped regretting my beanbag-themed movie theater in the lower level. It seemed like such a good idea at the time. No, but you also, by the way, speaking of trends, have just gotten back from High Point Market, which was a week or so ago down in High Point, North Carolina.
Speaking of drinking in the style, my goodness, do they party out there?
Listeners, just by way of background, High Point, North Carolina is
Yes.
the center of the American furniture industry. It is just manufacturers everywhere, and then twice a year they have High Point Market in spring and fall. And it is, God, how many square feet? It's literally something like
Thousands.
it's like 4
Tens of
million
thousands. Is it?
square
4 million
feet.
square feet?
The
Oh, my
entire
gosh.
city is a series of furniture showrooms. And every furniture store, every design center, everybody who's anybody makes the trip down to High Point, and we take a look at all the new products, all the existing products. I just say anybody who's anybody, and then I'm going to say we didn't go this year because in the midst of the big move, we couldn't break away. But you went, so tell me, what did you see?
It was interesting. Every year that I go, I garner more things, and it is true. There are so many millions of square feet. Each space is, thousands of square feet. So there's so much ground to cover and so many different things to see. I think the big aha for me was just the focus on, blending a little bit of that residential with commercial. Softer lines. For a while we've been seeing some more rigid lines in the furnishings and in the arms and so on, and now I'm seeing a lot more curves. I'm wondering.
Love curves.
Yeah.
Wondering if you ever let that go by.
And I'm wondering if maybe some of the biophilia is starting to come into mainstream design now.
Biophilia. I don't know that word.
I was waiting. I have no idea either.
Yeah, that's great.
Really, it's interesting.
Love it. What does biophilia mean?
Biophilia means, it really means to commune with nature.
Okay.
And the impact that it has on our blood pressure, on how we reside in our buildings and how we reside in our homes. It's truly interesting because now, if we talk about well buildings for just a moment, if you were to go into a well building, they have a lot of the biophilic design incorporated into what they do, meaning what they're trying to do is they're trying to create that essence of still being involved in nature. So, for example, we're doing a lot with, lighting is really a big thing. With the circadian rhythms, lighting is a big thing. It's creating, maybe your garbage can is a distance away from your desk. So it creates an opportunity for you to get up out of your desk and go to the waste can and throw your, whatever away.
Great idea.
But it just creates movement. It creates the ability to have lighting that's much like nature, colors much like nature, so that overall you have a much healthier experience while you're in work.
So kind of more of an organic, natural type of a setting. But I mean, so all right. So you've talked a little bit about movement, things like that, and getting things. But from a design perspective, I mean, how do you integrate that? Are we talking about more plants being placed, living walls?
Yes, you're hitting on a lot of it. I think just by bringing in the plants, we all know that they give us oxygen. We all know that by looking at certain colors and textures that it really helps us to get involved with that. I don't know about you, but I still, even when I'm out raking leaves, I love to just sit out and enjoy the crackle of the leaves and the colors and just the essence of the fresh, crisp air in the fall.
I do as well.
I'd like to jump in the leaves.
I would, honestly. But I have 2 dogs and I can't keep up on it, so you don't want to jump in our leaf piles.
Yeah. Growing up as a child, my aunt told me the red leaves were blood and there was dead bodies on the bottom of the leaf piles.
Are you kidding?
So I didn't get the leaf experience as a young child.
Oh, my God.
I am so sorry.
Was she a horrible woman?
She was just very stern. She also carried a plastic spoon in her purse because she had the mom purse. And if you did something stupid, you get cracked on top of the head. The recoil alone just made you, shaking in the boots.
Wow.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's terrible.
Little introspection
so to this day,
of my childhood.
when you see like leaves, do you start to wince and blink out of?
I don't jump in leaves. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
That's too bad because jumping in leaves is a wonderful dang thing.
It really
so I've heard.
Is.
Yeah. Well,
so I've heard.
To do it. I'm gonna look at making a leaf pile for you.
I have to do some raking soon, so maybe I'll reconsider. Seriously,
put that up online or something.
Yeah,
but it's absolutely true. I mean, so bringing in that level of nature into your environment and having an appreciation. Although, again, we started. You opened the door to talking about history.
Oh, yes.
We are the descendants of ancient Rome, and Romans would separate civilization from nature. Strong delineation. And that's something that we still live with to this day. So it's kind of a difficult thing to try to bring back a certain amount of nature against almost our societal norms.
Well, I think you're exactly right when you mention that. I think we have to really lead the charge in, making our environments more pleasing, warmer. For example,
Hygge-like.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to explore that a little bit because it's not necessarily what you automatically think it is. Stick with us.
Get yourself somebody. You are nobody.
This is Gregory Rich, founder of Habitation Furnishing and Design and host of Drink in the Style every Sunday at 5 p.m. I'm often asked what kind of furniture Habitation offers. Now, I can go 2 ways with this. I can say something like, Habitation specializes in warm, modern, raw, industrial, and organic contemporary home furnishings. But what does that mean? It means that we have some really cool stuff, and that is the answer that usually goes over better. But cool doesn't mean crazy. And I'm proud to say that everything we offer at Habitation is functional and comfortable. The type of furniture that will allow you to express yourself but still works every day. So there it is, Habitation Furnishing and Design, 4317 Excelsior Boulevard in St. Louis Park. It's the Twin Cities' best furniture and design showroom.
Tell me your love's sincere. Oh, please.
Welcome back to Drinkin' the Style Sundays at 5 p.m. on AM 950 here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and available anytime as a stream or podcast. Visit am950radio.com or drinkinthestyle.com anytime, and you can hear back episodes and then our current one, which comes out usually the Monday right after we air. Correct, Brett?
That is correct.
Awesome. All right. Kimberly, we started talking about hygge.
Say it again, Greg.
Hygge.
And it's spelled Hygge. Hygge.
Hygge. Hygge.
Yes.
I'm Italian. Well,
me too.
Hygge.
I know.
It's just not an Italian. It has no rhythm to this word.
Same
know,
for me.
right?
The only thing is that this hygge kind of thing has been going on for the past year, wouldn't you say?
It's been a while.
It's been kind of the Scandinavian thing, which is kind of come and gone, to be honest. And what has left behind is actually what I think a little bit of maybe just the movement of creating comfort,
And
if
that's
you
just
will.
it. Because hygge, we should define just
What the
as a quick
hell is
overview. You're
hygge?
right.
I'm still waiting.
It's Norwegian. It's a Scandinavian.
It's a feeling of well-being. It's creating comfort. It is
A space creating a warm, inviting
just in abundance
space.
in life.
Yes.
Kind of really juxtaposed against what we have going on right now. We have so many people that are so engaged in social media. This is quite frankly the opposite. It is really getting people to engage in conversation, which is what I really enjoyed with Laura upstairs. Normally I would sit down, wait, and I would be going through my phone, and I really did have a lovely conversation with her. So it's really that kind of movement. It's just slowing down. I was in Paris last year, and I got anxiety when I went to go have coffee. And I thought, this is ridiculous. Because
Just
I was
the
waiting in
interaction?
line. I was waiting in line, and the people were interacting, and it was taking so long. And I thought to myself, why am I feeling like this? And it's because of the American way. We're just, quick, faster, no engagement with the person that's serving us. It's just really not that moment in time.
Right.
So
Did you ever see that sign that somebody posted online with the coffee prices? Coffee, $7. Coffee if you say good morning, $5. Coffee if you ask how we are,
haven't.
$3. And just
Yeah.
takes it down to like $1.25 based on incenting people to actually interact socially.
And I think we need a movement of that. And so while this, while the Scandinavian design has come and gone, I'm kind of hoping that a little bit of the experience will remain behind, or at least a little bit of the culture. In fact, when I was in Iceland too last year, and I didn't go to any of the normal places that normal people go.
Okay.
I really wanted to immerse myself in the lifestyle of the Icelanders. And I read this quote, and I loved it. It said, most people pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that they hurry past it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that true?
That is awesome, especially for Americans.
I just think so. So
It's about living in the moment to a certain extent. That what they're talking about there, as I would interpret it, is the constant pursuit of the next thing that's going to, which is a never-ending cycle.
It is. You're exactly right. It's never ending, and it's insatiable. It's, what next product can we buy, and then where does that end up in the landfill? Which, again, I'm hoping, that I'm a proponent for sustainability and, creating an environment that's healthy and non-toxic and, really a movement of being more thoughtful about absolutely everything. Instead of speeding everything up, we need to really just slow things down. And it's like wool carpet, for example. I am such a proponent of wool carpet. I just think it's such a healthy product to put in your home, and as opposed to all of the other items that
Which
we
makes
have.
you worry. It is true.
Yeah.
Although wool carpeting does have limitations
Well, it
to
does.
a certain
It
extent.
does, yeah.
But it is a natural, and
Yeah.
there's some kind of energy that comes off of anything that's a natural fiber that you simply cannot replicate in a
I'm
lab.
glad you say that, because you're exactly right. The natural fibers, I think, and I was seeing a lot of them at High Point. You brought up the fact of what was I seeing at High Point? I was seeing a lot of natural fibers and natural stone. And something else that was interesting is some metals. I also ran across a lot of German silver, which was interesting.
German silver.
Yeah, and I said, what is this that this is patinaing this way? And they said, no, it's German silver, and German silver has a little bit of a warmer tone to it.
Really?
So it's kind of interesting. I think you'll see some of the furnishings coming your way with those, with German silver.
And is it literally
it.
like coming out of Germany, or this is just a name that they've given to this particular
that's a
finish?
good question. I didn't dig in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like a warmer silver, essentially, is
Yeah,
what you're
it
saying?
has just kind of this warmer element. Sometimes silver has that blue cast or blue kind of undertone. This was just really lovely and soft and kind of interesting. I noticed it right away.
Really?
Yeah.
What showrooms? All right, this was one of the questions I was going to ask too.
Oh, yeah.
Which showrooms wowed you? What suppliers are you like totally into right now?
I am a design nerd, and so I was trying to go everywhere. And, for me, I have such a variety of different clients. I have people that are very high end, and then I also have people that are, younger entry level that like my design aesthetic. And so I really do try to reach out to them with brands that will hit their price point. So a variety. I guess I really can't put my finger on any one. I think for more of the entry level brands, I would say I liked Bernhardt. Bernhardt had some really beautiful offerings. I think one thing that I really appreciated was their outdoor furnishings that they're offering.
I had heard that they were doing that.
Have you seen any of their pieces?
Not in person.
I loved some of them. Some of them were metal and, again, had that curved back that were very comfortable and really could be used indoors or outdoors, which is also a trend, bringing the indoors in and the outdoors. Oh, no. Did I say that backwards?
Bring the outdoors in, indoors out.
Yeah, there we go.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because like Lazar, which is an upholstery line, I don't know if you do
Yeah.
much with them, but we do it an awful lot.
Yeah.
And they have basically taken their entire line and covered them with
The performance fabrics?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you can have outdoor furniture that would be just as comfortable indoors, which I
love
think
that.
is totally the way to go, because
you
I'm
love
so
that?
tired of all the standard issue
Me too.
outdoor rattan, faux rattan.
Ad nauseum.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's so disappointing. It's so depressing. It's kind of like whenever I feel like getting really kind of depressed about human creativity, I go onto Etsy and I discover how similar most of the things that everybody is making is. And it's
Yeah.
part of why you need a designer, because a
Right.
designer is a curator, a selector, and a hunter of different types of things.
I love that you said that. A curator and hunter. Exactly. And I think the reason I think market is so important for both you and I is that we really need to be out there and seeing what is brand new and what evokes emotion. I think I had just as much fun watching the designers interact with certain products as I did actually researching the product.
Interesting.
Because it was like a case study that I was doing. I would watch them interact with certain different things, and it was...
Isn't it weird? All right,
Yeah.
so this is so funny. So you mentioned this, by the way, earlier, that, High Point, there is a ton of drinking in High Point.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
part of why I like
Yeah.
going there. Although it's changed somewhat. It used to be that each and every showroom would have booze available. And I would always have a policy of
It
one
was
drink
still
per
flowing.
showroom, and that's
Yeah.
how I would make myself go to all the different showrooms.
Right.
But they did change it recently, and now the smaller showrooms, they're making everybody get a license in order to serve cocktails, and it's
Interesting.
expensive. So
Yeah.
now the smaller showrooms aren't offering liquor unless they really like you, and then they show you one.
Sure.
Low.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, so if you watch in a showroom, and I just love doing this as well, you have totally different types of individuals coming through. You've got the designers who are taking a look, and you can just see the way a designer looks at a piece, and they're evaluating the design, the flow, the curves. They may be sitting on it a little bit and touching it. And then you've got like the store owners who come in, and the
yes.
store owners are coming in, and they're like lifting up the cushions, and they're checking underneath it, and they're
Yeah.
like kicking it as if it's a tire to try to
Right.
get a sense. And it's the one place you can get all those different an opportunity to check out all those different areas. But again, it's great people watching, and I sit back and just, identify who this person is based on how they're evaluating a piece of furniture.
You're right. You're right. Because, as you know, we have our name tags, and it says, if you're a designer or if you are a buyer or what have you. And, it's interesting. Plus, I had the good fortune of meeting Kelly Wursler, who is fabulous.
Kelly Wursler?
Yes.
Why can't I figure out who Kelly Wursler is?
You have to know who she is. She's amazing. She does a lot of hospitality. She does a lot of
yes. Okay. Yes.
Really avant-garde.
Dan, the Margarita is doing a nice job.
What?
It is.
So you met with her?
Yes, and what an opportunity that was. And then also, who else did I meet? The designer for the Kardashians.
Some Armenian guy?
No, actually. Well, Martin Lawrence Bullard.
Did you go into the Christopher Guy showroom?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Interesting.
I'm not a fan.
I saw that coming a mile.
I know, right? Yeah, I know.
And I, of course, I'm just going to say interesting because it was my first experience with that.
Okay.
So I guess I didn't have preconceived notions or any expectations. So
Your Minnesota's showing right now.
What was?
Your Minnesota is showing.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. I better cover.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Float the boat.
Holstein
it
pattern
sucked.
wallpaper. Interesting.
Yes.
But no, that's great. Now, I also wanted to ask you, you have a big project underway right now with an unnamed, and we will not name, sports figure
Yes.
in Minneapolis. Tell us about that.
Well, he's lovely, and it's a huge project.
Okay.
Huge undertaking.
Western suburbs.
Yes.
How big is the house?
It's huge.
Okay,
I don't
huge.
even want to disclose that.
That's fine.
And I don't want to disclose his name, obviously, for confidentiality reasons. But he's been lovely to work with, and we have just a dynamic project going on. And some of the things, well, I'll talk about the bar. How's that?
Perfect.
All right, let's talk a little bit about that. So the bar is actually going to have a lit, everything is going to be completely lit. So the stone is going to be completely backlit.
Okay.
So when his guests arrive down at the bar, they'll have their drinks sitting on this beautiful lit stone, and it is really beautiful.
So it's backlit stone, so it's ambient lighting coming out from under, and then the surface is some kind of stone.
Yeah, it's all stone. All stone. So basically 6 inches of stone on the facing, and then, of course, the countertop itself. And the other surprise, I hope I'm not giving away too much of a surprise, but he has this beautiful open window into the garage where
Okay.
all of his supercar... I'm a car girl.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this.
I did not.
I am a car girl.
Okay.
In fact, when I was down at High Point, I could not get out of the car art. In fact, I dragged some home with me.
That's awesome. Did you notice
Fabulous.
Dan is driving a late model PT Cruiser at the moment?
Wow. Low blow. Low blow, Greg. And I didn't bring the PT today, you bastard.
All right, after that one, we're going to take a break. But we'll hear more about that in just a moment. Stick with us.
What the hell you want, Sam? Baby. Brother, you.
Did you know that Habitation Furnishing and Design has the area's largest selection of noir and CFC furniture? Are you familiar with them? I once had a customer describe noir as a cross between Restoration Hardware and Beetlejuice. I love that. And CFC, bench-made furniture out of the heart of California, is definitionally cool. In any event, check out the lines at noirfurniturela.com and then swing into the store and check them out in person. Habitation Furnishing and Design, 1 mile east of Highway 100 on Excelsior Boulevard. This is Gregory Rich, founder of Habitation Furnishing and Design and host of Drink in the Style every Sunday at 5 p.m. On the radio program, I often say that life is the big stuff, but living is in the details. The furniture in your home may be details, but that's where you do the living. So why not speak to one of Habitation's design professionals about making your space the best it can be? Habitation, 4317 Excelsior Boulevard in St. Louis Park.
Here's a happy tune.
A happy tune.
You'll love the croon.
You love the groove.
They call it Dean's song.
You don't seem to understand.
Catchy as can be.
I must agree.
The melody.
The melody.
God, I hate breaking into that song. That is one of my favorite songs for whatever reason. It's the Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. riff version of Sam's song, available on their Rat Pack Members Edition album, I think. Is that right, Brett?
That is correct, yes.
Awesome. By the way, just by way of a teaser, as we move into 2020, we're going to have a whole new concept associated with our musical selections. We are going to, through the entire year, work our way through Frank Sinatra's entire musical repertoire, album by album, week by week, starting in like I'm going to say 40 or something, when I didn't like his 30 stuff. But we'll be able to watch the development of the greatest musician of all time.
Does he have 52 albums out and available?
At least, yeah.
No kidding.
Oh, Sinatra.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got... I don't know. I should look up the number, but it's definitely more than 52.
So it will be good week to week with new content.
It's going to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Before I get wrapped up doing the audio log, Kimberly, we need to make sure that you do a solid plug. How can listeners learn more about Niosi Design?
Well, how nice of you. Actually, Niosi Design, we're a boutique, upscale design firm located at in International Market Square. And basically just call us, 612-701-3628. And we'd be happy to have conversation with you on your project.
And Facebook or Instagram or anything that people can see pictures?
Instagram, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the website is Niosi Design?
Design.
Niosi, correct?
Yes.
Design.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some great pictures. I mean, I love some of
thank you.
the projects that you've got posted on there. I mean, they're clean, and yet they're both clean and embrace hygge as a sense. I'm going to keep doing it.
How do you say that again?
Hygge.
Hygge chaka. We said we weren't going to do that, but...
We always do.
You've got to. It's a musical portion of the show.
Yeah.
Dan, what's shaking in Minneapolis?
So tonight, which when you hear this, you can get ready to come next Tuesday, Taco Takeover at Mercy in the Library Bar. We have Chef Gustavo Romero making authentic Mexican food, fresh pressed blue tortilla, taco shells. He presses them, throws them on the grill, and that's when you're eating almost nearly immediately. And they're so perfectly done, you only need one. Because a lot of places you go, you get the corn taco shell, and it's doubled up. Mm-hmm. That's just due to not a very good taco shell. Mm-hmm. So ours is just the one. And the food is on point. I got some really fun drinks.
And Chef is killing it, by the way. I mean, you guys have so much good stuff. Next week, we're going to talk about the Dining in the Dark thing that we've done recently, which is just amazing.
Which we also offer in our library bar.
That's going to be a big subject matter, but we're gonna. That's a teaser.
It is a teaser in the Steinbeck room.
Yep. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, so we got a couple plugs in. Taco Takeover Tuesday.
Not to be confused with Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Takeover on a Tuesday.
Did you say Taco Tuesday? Now we got to pay Papa John's a nickel.
No, we're good.
LeBron James is going to be at my door right now, banging on the door, screaming that I use the words. All right, let's do the Habitation audio log. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Maybe I need audio log intro music, Johnson. What do you think?
You need some music for this, yeah.
Some kind of...
We got to think of a track for this.
It's like Darth Vader or something. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Habitation audio log installment 40. By the way... It'll work. It'll work. All right, here we go. Last week, I disclosed that... By the way, did you notice last week how Cindy and Carol were just laughing their asses off at me as I'm waving my arms around?
Everybody's hand-talking. Just shit-faced. Yeah.
How do you read something aloud without using your hands?
Yeah.
I'm reading in bed next to Christina, and I'm waving my hands around.
You noticed I was doing it.
I know, Italian.
Isn't that supposed to be the mark of a dictator? That you do?
Mussolini?
We must annex Poland by the spring. No, it's the Italian thing. By the way, do you know why Italians use so many hand gestures?
I would like to know.
Nothing's definitive, but this is a really great theory. After the collapse of the Roman Empire, when Latin was no longer the universal language, Italy still remained the center of international trade.
Oh, yeah.
But since people couldn't talk to each other anymore, they learned to communicate using hand gestures.
Interesting.
Isn't it, though? There's this great guy online that I don't remember where it is, but he gives like the whole definitive list of hand gestures and their whole origin. It's awesome.
Wow. So they started...
Yeah. So hand gesturing is
Wow.
because Italians had to communicate with people who did not speak the language and figured out how to do it.
Well, it's interesting. It follows down the gene pool. That's
I know.
all I can say.
It becomes, I know, it's weird.
All right,
It is weird.
you guys are
see
just
when
like
I was
out hand talking each other right now.
We were.
All right, Habitation Audio Log. Here we go. All right, Habitation Audio Log, installment 40. Last week, I disclosed some of the details on Habitation's upcoming move to Edina. At the moment, everything seems to be going well, and the last hurdle we're looking at is the completion of the environmental survey. Once that's clear, I'll be disclosing the location and other bits of info, but this week, I'm going to be talking about our moving sale. We've already begun. You have to begin. Simply put, I'm shedding almost everything on the showroom floor. I'd much rather sell and start fresh than move the items, so we have slashed prices on existing samples. Just about everything in the store is 40 to 70% off, and truly, it is selling fast. If you are in the market for sofas, chairs, accessories, dining tables, art, pretty much anything, now is the time to visit Habitation. In fact, if you're looking for lighting, you'll definitely want to rush over because overhead lighting is slashed even more deeply. So there it is. Tons of premium quality furnishings being sold at legitimate, serious, deep discounts. But, as they used to say on TV, don't delay, act now. Supplies are limited, and by the end of November, we expect to be pretty much close to bare walls. Ta-da!
Wow.
Right? I would have been good on that. Don't delay. Act now. Operators are standing by. Designers are standing by.
I am trying to clear out your shelves, you know.
You're doing a nice job.
Your walls, anyway.
I know, the Venus
Yes,
picture. We were
yes.
talking between segments about the absolutely awesome Venus de Milo art, and she's taking a selfie, and it is just a beautiful riff on...
What a great way of combining classical and today's world.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It was absolutely awesome. We also, by the way, mentioned lighting, and we were discussing Ketra lighting.
Yes. And Ketra lighting, to me, as we were talking about that big project that I was doing, and Ketra lighting is one of the things that we're doing in this great big project. And
Ketra is a brand. It is. It's a manufacturer of lighting.
Yes, yeah. And what it is it actually sets you up. It's circadian rhythm lighting. So it sets you up. So if you're arriving home, say, well, in our case, coming from a game with this particular individual, coming home, and they want to set themselves up for good sleep. So the lighting is actually set to or get them ready for sleep.
So
Really
is
is
it
what
like,
it does.
is it connected like to a hub? Is it like networked?
It is.
And
It is.
Wi-Fi connects, and then
Yeah.
the lighting will adjust based on a
Based
recommended or personalized schedule.
Yeah, you can actually personalize it, which is exactly right. And then you can also set it up for daytime lighting. So, for example, in the morning when you want to get ready to go work out or something, you can definitely have that set up so that you're energized for the day.
That's
And then when
awesome.
you come home, it's predisposing how you're going to prepare yourself for sleep.
That
Isn't that
is
great?
just kind of brilliant. That's a proper use of technology.
I think it's great. And it's all about promoting good health. And I think so many people are having so much difficulty with their serotonin levels and so on. And it really does help boost your serotonin levels based on the rhythm of your body.
You know, people for years denied, for whatever reason, because we're Americans and we just don't trust experts, and I don't fully understand it, but denied the truth of looking at your computer screen and
Oh,
how
yeah.
that would literally charge your mind up. And then eventually, Apple and Android came out with blue light filters
Right.
as part of their operating system, which
Right.
kind of validated the whole theory.
Yeah.
This is the Ketra lighting thing I'm actually really excited about. We're going to have to talk offline about this, because when we build out the district building,
Oh, yeah.
perhaps this is something. Ooh,
Which
do they have
I
like a
am-
lighting setting to encourage people to buy things?
Maybe. Maybe you'd have to turn it up to red. You know how red does that.
The red light district.
Well, I don't know about that, but
No, I think that's totally awesome, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about
Yeah,
this.
pretty great product.
Do you use, by the way, Newkirk? Do you use a blue light filter on your phone at night?
Excuse me?
You don't know about it, do you?
I'm fully aware of it, but no, why would I do that? I just turn it upside down.
But if you're like looking at something, if you're reading something, and you know, as you're drifting to sleep, like I try to read something before I go to bed, preferably not the news, but I'll grab a Kindle book or something on my phone, and I'll read a chapter or two to try to get through it. And if you don't have a blue light filter, you're literally like giving your brain mixed
You're
signals.
energizing it again.
Yeah, no, I don't do the phone thing at the end of the night.
Of course, you also probably pretty much just pass out.
Yes.
There needs to be like some kind of alcoholic drink called blue light filter.
Really? Yeah, I know.
Dude, you need to make a cocktail. We're going to call it the blue light filter.
There you go.
I can make it blue.
Said and done.
Okay.
By
All
the
right.
way, this is the best I've ever had.
I appreciate
Just
that.
wanted to shout out. Wow.
Oh my God, a nickel for every time you've heard it, right?
It's still nice to hear.
Sometimes there's an alcoholic drink involved.
It's still nice to hear. It's still nice to hear. It never gets old.
All right, well, there it is, my friends. I'm so sorry, Brett. I really am. There it is, my friends. We have drunk our way through yet another episode. On behalf of Habitation Furnishing and Design, soon to no longer be in St. Louis Park, okay? Kimberly from Niosi Design and Dan Newkirk from all over the place, I'd like to wish everybody good luck this coming week. And I'm going to leave you a quote from Yogi Berra. Keep trying, stay humble, trust your instincts, and most importantly, act. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. Good night, everybody.
La 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 la.